while y'all were stuck in the snow this week, I was on the beach. I went to officiate a wedding, and it happened to be right near where the Yansuras live. So the Yansuras, if you don't know Mark and Jeff, they're some of our summer members, and so we got to hang out a little bit. They say hi. They promised to make food for the Rocky Mountain Mission potlucks when they're here this summer. So I was officiating a wedding for an old family friend, and at weddings, you've been to them, people like me, they get to talk about love, holy matrimony, and the gravity of the occasion. For the most part, when people like me do that, none of you pay any attention. Because there's dresses that are beautiful, and there's I-do's that matter, there's kisses, and things to throw around. So there's beautiful things to pay attention to, but here I am, I talk about love. And maybe if you were at Will and Emma's wedding last year, this might sound a little bit familiar somewhere in the recesses of your mind, but every wedding I open with the same words. I say, this sacred union is rooted in the very order of creation itself, so that the best we are meant to be, the height of human flourishing, is when love shines through two people who commit their lives together. Amen? Amen. Yeah, when I say that, people are like, yes, that sounds heavy. Now they can laugh a little bit. But those words to me are basically what I'm trying to do in those places is to talk about God without talking about like God. Right? I try to set the scene by mentioning some holiness that everyone can relate to. The awe and wonder and beauty of the reverence of love and nature and transcendence. And by giving some name to that, I try to talk about faith without talking about faith. And since those are weddings, and not Sunday at church, I end up talking about God and faith with a lot of people who rarely, many of them never, think about anything remotely to do with that, except they might think, man, religion is boring. When I was a kid, church was boring. Or they might think, when I hear about religion on the news, those people are critical. Or they might think, hey, why are there so many religious nut jobs in the world? Or they might think that you get your religion out of my politics. That's the standard expectation of religion, but here I am talking about God without talking about God. And so especially to those people, weddings are my chance and their chance, whether they hear me or not, to talk about a more real faith, which makes those events really the most evangelical part of my job. That is, for all the stuff that I do with you, for all the stuff I do here week after week, for all the stuff I do to try to walk with you in your life, these are often the best opportunity I have to spread good news to people who would never, ever walk into a place like this. But you did walk into a place like this. All of you have different stories for what brought you into a place like this. And we know each other. I'm not just the stranger up there that people think are kind of weird. We know each other, so we're going to be real about this. The bride's mother, she was real about things. She goes to churches like this all the time. She's a Catholic. She's kind of frustrated with the big church. She doesn't know what's going on with their kind of vision, and she's not quite sure what her church does for her, but she keeps going. Some people keep going because they feel they have to. She keeps going because she wants to. She wants to find this thing that she feels. The mother of the bride, she knows that there's something there, something drawing her there. But it's hard to put into words. So after the rehearsal, and they have their cocktails after rehearsal. And after the cocktails, they have dinner where there's wine. And after dinner, there's aperitifs, which were really good. And then we watch the slideshow where they have the pictures of the bride and the groom as little kids, and they grow up, and everyone's, oh, that's great. So you have to have a beer with that. And the mother of the bride is a teetotaler, but this is my admission, I was not. And so we got to talking about this conversation, what is faith, in the kind of time when I was just able to this is it. And she helped me write my sermon today. After all that went into that conversation, we got to talking about places like church and people like you, and we got to talking about people like the woman in the Bible story that Mark just read. We got to talking about what is this thing, church, and what are we searching for, and what do we get when we're searching for it? What do people take away on Sunday mornings, and what's the point? Why do some people feel it, and some people feel something they can't really describe? Whatever that is, how do we cultivate that better here and out in society? And we never got any answers at all. Does that happen to you when you get into those deep conversations? It was a good conversation. It was a real conversation. As the night went on, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. Well, why? There are answers to these. I just don't know. So usually at weddings, those great conversations aren't the primary thing that I get, usually at weddings, it's not good conversations about faith, but usually people, they don't know what to say to me, so they say, priest, Mr. Priest, and that's not right. Or then like someone says, you don't look like a minister. And I think, no, I usually don't. Or a lot of people awkwardly, they tell me why they don't go to church, or they stumble through telling me about the last podcast they heard about religion. Or sometimes people just come up and say, so what am I supposed to do about my marriage? And it becomes a pastoral care session, which is great, I'm not complaining. But that's the level where most of those conversations happen. And for those people, in those moments, very often, that's the only time they ever lean up against organized religion. Stuff in me. And so, as I do with you, I usually tell them to get as far away from their ideas and assumptions about organized religion and get so much more disorganized, which is their heart, which is their life, which we all share, which is real. And here's what I noticed with that, and with the woman in the story, and with so many of your stories over and over and over, and with my story when I really stop and listen. What I noticed is that the woman of great faith, as it was described by Jesus himself, what religion was she? She wasn't. She wasn't Jewish. If she was a religion, she was the wrong religion, because she came from Cana, the ancient kind of lands that were out there. So at best she was the wrong religion, and she wasn't very committed to that. She wasn't talking about beliefs. She wasn't talking about doctrine. She wasn't interested in any arguments. She didn't seem to care about any of the organized stuff. She just had something in her heart, in her real life. She was a mom who wanted her daughter to feel better. She just felt like a mom when her kid was hurting. Why do you know that? Why do you know that? So she reached out, as many of you have. She said, help. She said, please help. She reached out to this guy and said, I want to trust you. She felt like, and this had nothing to do with her eternal soul, or heaven and hell. It didn't really have anything to do with morality or justice or service. It had nothing to do with the loaded words like hope or grace or peace. She just bared herself in the most human of situations. In fact, the more human she was, leaning up against that essential emotion of I love, and that person I love hurts, so I want to do something, the more she connected to that real, normal, messy, broken life, well, according to Jesus, the more she did that, the more she found herself stumbling toward faith. She never asked about God. She never asked about church. She never asked about any of that stuff. She asked about, I'm hurting. All of a sudden, she's a woman of great faith. Now my guess, I have a couple guesses, and this is one of those stories people ask all the time. People say, oh, is Jesus being rude? Is he offering an opportunity for the woman to express her faith in front of the disciples who are kind of dumb, and that's a teaching lesson for them? Whatever it is, this is just my guess on how to interpret this, but I think Jesus saw this opportunity to let her explore that most human faith, search into those emotions. Someone you love is hurting. What does that do to you? Why do you think your daughter should be better? What is it about the world that you think your daughter should not hurt? What does your life tell you about that? Where do you get that idea that daughters shouldn't hurt and that moms shouldn't be concerned about that? Is that a natural idea? Why? She came back to Jesus, as you do with me so often, with real wisdom. Not Sunday school wisdom, not reading the book wisdom, not heard in the sermon wisdom, not official dogma wisdom. She took the best of her experience. And then she said, people love each other. That's how I understand the world. And love, at its best, doesn't have boundaries. That's how I understand the world. And she said, well, that's the way life should be. Right, Jesus? And he said, nailed it. That's right. You got it. You don't have to go to church to understand that that is the beginning of faith. And in fact, my second guess about this story, when Jesus says woman of great faith to the woman who has nothing to do with religion, I think he's praising her not only for the insight, but also for that process. Because in your life, when you take away the hymns and the words and the traditions and what it all means, and when you tell me, I want to live better, I want to get clean, I want to love my daughter, I want to help those people, I am so broken up over cancer, I hate gun violence. When you tell me, this is the human situation and it's just not right today, I could say, well, what's wrong with it? And you would say, it's just not supposed to be that way. It should be better. Because in your experience, from your wisdom, the world should not hurt her. The world world should not separate us. The world should not break them. Instead, it should. And whatever you fill in that blank, that's the beginning of faith. The world should. The world's messed up. My life's messed up. Yeah? What makes you think it should be better? It should. I feel it in my bones. I can't explain it, but there's something good out there. There's something good about it. It's pointing in some good direction. Why do you believe that? I just do. The world gets messed up. We mess it up. Things can happen, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's the beginning of faith. In these pews or outside of them. When you trust that the world should be better, safer, less hate, more love. And in that explanation, Jesus didn't say anything. He didn't point her to God. He just said, you got the right answer. Let me do this healing thing with you. Let's walk together in that. And in that sense, not housed in sanctuaries or mountaintop moments or sitting along a meditative beach, faith begins with that sense, lived out in the deepest of human experience, that we want better, we deserve better, we feel it's right, even when we can't explain it. That's the way the world should be. That's the beginning of faith in my life and all of our lives, and that mother's lives and the lives of people who take a break from all the ugliness and they come to weddings and they have that little moment where all that ugliness gets pushed away and they say, this is beautiful. This is what life is supposed to be like. If that's the beginning of faith, what's the next step? The next step, one next step, if we can go there, if in your heart you trust that we're supposed to be getting better, the next step is perhaps to respond. There's too much pain. There's too much pain in the world. God, help me with the struggle. Or take it out of God. Just yell at the universe. Just like Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump. Just yell at the universe. This is too much. Can I get a break? It's too much to handle. Can someone just be with me there through all this mess? Can someone remind me that the world isn't all about pain, which is really all we're asking, whether we put God language on it or not? Or another response to the next step of faith. Hey, the world is broken. Okay, you want to go fix it together? You want to go do something about that? We can heal it. And you can put religious words on that. Reconciliation, justice, redemption. But lived out in the simple depth of human experience. Let's fix it together is a beautiful prayer to me. Or another response. Hey, the world is suffering. Okay? I'm going to prepare my heart to face that real suffering. A little bit, it'll be intentional. A little bit, it's just going to be actions and habits. A little bit by myself, a little bit in community. I'm going to do things to cultivate this sense that the world should be better. For some people, that's church. For others, it's therapy. For some, it's discipleship, mindfulness, whatever you want to call it. But that I want the world to be better. I trust that somewhere in here, that's right. Therefore, I'm going to start making it better. And all I've got the control over is right here. A little microcosm of how the world should be. I'm going to fill it with faith. I'm going to fill it with hope. I'm going to fill it with love. I'm going to let that grace come out